My dog hurt my dad while protecting my daughter. Now he wants me to pay his hospital bill. But in response, I sent him my vet bill. So my dad spanked me when I was a kid. I know it's an abrupt start to the story, but it's true. He always stood by it too, and would say how he couldn't believe how soft we were getting. I spanked my kids and they turned out all right, is a sentence I've heard about 100 times. Which is so weird to say in front of the person you hit honestly. Like, yeah, dad, you just spanked me. You didn't beat the SHT out of me, but you definitely ruined all trust I had in authority figures and made me live in fear in my own home. So, not great. But I guess we all did turn out fine. And he's just a weird old man, so people tend to ignore him. All I know is that I am never going to hit my daughter the way my dad hit me. Julia is 9 years old, and she's the light of my life. I took her up to my mom and dad's place this week, because they just put in a pool, and it has been the perfect weather for sitting by the water. It was pretty perfect, actually. The whole family together and the dogs playing on the lawn. Julia was in the garden pretending to be a farmer. She was plucking flowers from the bush, and Grandpa yells, "Julia, don't pull the roses off my bush." But I was in the middle of a conversation, so I didn't think about it. Then I hear my wife shout, and I look up, and my dad had grabbed my daughter roughly by the arm. I had never seen her that scared before, and I started to race over there. I wanted to rip him off of her. How dare he touch my daughter like that? He was winding up to hit her, and I was just on the other side of the yard, but it felt like miles because I knew I was not going to get there in time. Like a bolt of lightning, though, my dog Spike got there first and bit down on my dad's arm, making him let go of my daughter. My dog is a cane corso. For those who don't know what that is, it's a huge breed of dog, and though our dog generally isn't aggressive, this breed are often used as attack dogs. He's a big softie, but I trained him for protection, so it's no surprise that this was what he did. After all, my dad was genuinely about to hit my kid. Spike held on though. My dad was screaming, Julia was crying, the dog was growling, my mom was trying to get the dog off my dad, blood everywhere. It was complete chaos. Eventually, my dad grabbed a garden statue and clocked my dog over the head with it, and he let go, whimpering. My dad's arm was totally cut open and he was bleeding everywhere. It was a pretty quick trip to the emergency room, but I wouldn't know because I didn't go with him. I didn't even offer. I went with my wife and daughter to take Spike to the vet immediately. We were scared he would die. My daughter was really shaken up but just kept petting Spike in the back seat saying, "You saved me, Spikey. You saved me." He almost didn't make it, but he pulled through. He has a huge scar on his eye and probably won't be doing well for a while, but we have our protector safe and sound. I got a text from my dad. He said he had to get 27 stitches because of what my dog did to me. He said, "I ought to call the police for what your animal did to me. He needs to be put down. Here's my medical bill, you can start with that." And then sent me a picture of his hospital bill from the stitches today. I could have unloaded so much trauma and rage from my whole life into that man. Maybe I should have. But instead, I sent back a picture of the vet bill I got and responded simply, "You're lucky Spike lived. He better get used to spending more time alone because we are never going to see him again."